أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله
الحمد لله رب العالمين والعاقبة للمتقين ولا عدوان إلا على الظالمين وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدًا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وأصحابه ومن دعا بدعوته واستنى بسنته إلى يوم الدين وسلم تسليما كثيرا. أما بعد فأوصيكم ونفسي بتقوى الله عز وجل والسمع والطاعة. ويقول الحق سبحانه: أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم ومن يتق الله يجعل له مخرجا ويرزقه من حيث لا يحتسب ومن يتوكل على الله فهو حسبه إن الله بالغ أمره قد جعل الله لكل شيء قدرا. All praises are due to Allah, Lord of the worlds. And surely the best ultimate reward is for those who have the consciousness of Allah. And surely there is no animosity, no ill feeling, except for the oppressor. And I bear witness that Allah is one and has no partners, and that Muhammad, the son of Abdullah, is his servant, his last messenger. May Allah always constantly send peace and blessings to Muhammad, to his family, to his companions, and all those who call to his way and establish his sunnah to the day of judgment. As to what follows, I begin by reminding myself and you of the critical importance of taqwallah. That consciousness of Allah, that fear of Allah, yet hope in Allah. that will form a wiqaya, a shield around us to spiritually protect us in everything that we do. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has revealed in His glorious book, in a mighty revelation that lasted over a period of 23 years. Yet the effect of this revelation is still touching us today. It is still as relevant today as it was in the time of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has revealed in Surah Al-Talaq verses 2 and 3, and whoever is conscious of Allah, Allah will make a way out for him and provide for him from where he knows not. And whoever depends upon Allah, Allah will be sufficient for him. Surely Allah will reach His purpose. Inna Allaha balighu amri. Allah has made a limit for everything. And so there is a limit for destruction. There is a limit for oppression. There is a limit for everything in this world. O you who believe, last Saturday, as the Iranian missiles and drones entered into occupied Palestine, the world stood still. People's hearts skipped a beat. And some would say, is this Qiyamah? Is this the day of resurrection? Is this the beginning of a nuclear war? What is happening to us? Is this the doomsday? People the week before were in awe and fear at the sun and the moon. The eclipse, the total eclipse. And some people even said it's the day of judgment. Strange things are happening in this world. One day you're on top, the next day you're on the bottom. Even in the richest places on earth now, in Dubai, the new Paris of the Middle East, they are almost drowning in water. People with homes worth millions of dollars are knee-deep in sewerage. And so we are entering into an apocalyptic time. But those who are close to the Quran, those who are close to the words of Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, understand this is not Yawmul Qiyamah. Because certain signs, alamat, have to come about before Qiyamah Sa'ah. It is a process that we are going through. It's a process. And young people, those who are projecting themselves for the future, we need to understand the process. Allah Azza wa Jal tells us in Surah Ali Imran, addressing it to Prophet Muhammad ﷺ and his companions after the Battle of Uhud, when they had suffered terribly from the mushrikeen. Allah tells us through the Prophet ﷺ, إِيَمْسَسْكُمْ قَرْحٌ فَقَدْ مَسَّ الْقَوْمَ قَرْحٌ مِثْلُهُ وَتِلْكَ الْأَيَامُ نُدَاوِلُهَا بَيْنَ النَّاسِ وَلِيَعْلَمَ اللَّهُ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَيَتَّخِذَ مِنْكُمْ شُهَدَاءَ وَاللَّهُ لَا يُحِبُّ الظَّالِمِينَ وَلِيُمَحِّصَ اللَّهُ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَيَمْحَقَ الْكَافِرِينَ. Allah tells us such are the days of varying fortunes. We give people by turns, that Allah may expose those who believe and take to himself from your ranks martyr witnesses. But Allah does not love those who do wrong. Allah's object is to purify those who believe and to destroy the disbelievers. These are the days of Allah. Yawmun lak wa yawmun alayk. There will be a day for you and a day against you. In the time of Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, the great external powers of the world, Romans, Persians, Ethiopians, Chinese, internally in the Arabian Peninsula, the Prophet ﷺ, who began the message by himself, was faced with internal struggle. The mushrikeen in the Arabian Peninsula, the tribes of the Yahud, the munafiqeen, he had to face this internal struggle, but change came about. It seemed impossible. How could a man by himself in Arabia defeat the mighty Roman Empire? How could Bedouins living in the desert defeat the mighty Persian Empire? But it is a process, because Allah does not love the oppressor. And Allah promised He will test the believers, and He will take from us shuhada, shaheeds. Allah will take shaheed from us. Prophet Muhammad ﷺ was reported to have said, on the day of resurrection, people will wish that their skins had been cut with scissors in this world when they see the reward of those who were struck with calamity. When they see the reward that people are getting, the shaheeds are getting, they wish their skin was cut with scissors. Think about this. Allah Azza wa Jal, in the process, tells us, وَلِيُمَحِّصَ اللَّهُ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا tamhis. Allah will purify the believers. And a purification means to rectify us, to clean us. And we see now what is happening in the world with the crises in the world. The hypocrite leaders amongst us are scrambling. They are being exposed. We are being purified to do a mighty job. And then Allah said, وَيَمْحَقَ الْكَافِرِينَ. He will destroy the disbelievers. We are witnessing the destruction of a civilization. And this destruction will not come easily, because this civilization has developed weapons of mass destruction like never seen in the history of the world. They have developed communications. They have developed systems like human beings never had before. But they are not greater than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. A clear example for them and young people, students of knowledge, those who want to connect the past to the present to the future. Don't forget the past, because this process has happened before. One of the clearest examples is the Roman Empire. The Roman Empire, which ruled from 509 BC to 476 AD, almost 1,000 years. It was the largest empire that ever existed up until that time. They ruled over 5 million square kilometers. The Mediterranean, North Africa, West Asia. They were not only powerful militarily, their culture, their architecture, their road systems, their philosophies. They had a system that they called law and order. They had senators who would go to their parliaments, to their Congress, to dispense justice. But the challenge that they faced in this process, number one, was religious confusion. They were confused between their pagan religion and the religion of Tawheed. They were confused. And so they mixed it up together and came up with a strange form of Christianity and used that to dominate much of the known world. Number two of their great challenges was immorality. They were the most immoral people on the face of the planet Earth. They would enjoy themselves by going to coliseums and watch wild animals kill people. They would enjoy themselves through bloodlust, through bestiality. This was supposed to be the pinnacle of civilization, but it was falling down lower and lower and lower. And then, from amongst their poor people, slave revolts. Their slaves made rebellion. And a slave revolt is an ugly thing, because the slaves who have been concentrated in a small area, whipped and tortured and killed, burst out and made revolts on the Roman Empire. The most famous of the revolts was the revolt of Spartacus. They were attacked from the outside. The Huns on one side, the Vandals, the Visigoths. They were attacked internally and externally. Economic changes, one of the biggest problems the Romans faced, make a parallel with today. It was economic. Inflation had risen up. Their gold was not equal to the promises that they had made to people. Corruption, economic corruption, started to bring them down. Environmental changes, droughts, plagues, famines began to hit the lands of the Romans. And a pivotal moment in the Roman Empire in 410 was when the rebel slaves of the Visigoths burnt Rome to the ground. We are living in a parallel process. The Palestinian people, we've been living in the largest concentration camp on earth. Nothing has ever been seen like this before. Thousands are dead, thousands are lost, thousands are maimed, and it is happening right in front of the eyes of the world. But the slaves, the so-called slaves, are in revolt. The slaves are free people inside, because they are Muslim. The world is changing now. One order is coming down and another order is rising. The same factors that hit Rome is hitting America, the Western powers, the colonial powers, the occupiers of Palestine. it is hitting them the same way it hit the Romans. Immorality. Just turn on the television and see immorality. Look at the people who are running for their presidents, the most corrupt, filthy people. Moral confusion. They are confused about their religion. They say they are followers of Christ, but would Isa alayhi salam allow the destruction that they carry out? Economic crisis. We are at the cusp, at the base of an economic recession, which is about to hit us, whether we realize it or not. But they will tell you the American dollar is stronger than ever before. Environmental crises. Look at what the earth is throwing back on us now. Unprecedented heat, unprecedented cold, unprecedented storms, internal confusion. Civil disobedience is hitting the streets in Western capitals all over the world. It is a process of coming down. Our job is with ourselves. إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يُغَيِّرُ مَا بِقَوْمٍ حَتَّى يُغَيِّرُ مَا بِأَنفُسِهِمْ. Allah will not change the condition of a people until they change that which is in themselves. We have everything in place. We have resources, we have military, we have technology, we have youth, we have everything in place. But we need to change our understanding of each other. We need to see what is positive in other Muslims. We need to unite, even if there are some differences. Allah told us in Surah Al-Anfal, verse 73, وَالَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا بَعْضُهُمْ أَوْلِيَاءُ بَعْضٍ إِلَّا تَفْعَلُوهُ تَكُنْ فِتْنَةٌ فِي الْأَرْضِ وَفَسَادٌ كَبِيرٌ. Allah tells us, and those who are disbelievers are friends and allies and helpers one to another. So unless you do this, there will be great trials, discord, and corruption on the earth. And so it is on us now to take this month, to take the lessons of the month of Ramadan, to take the unity that we had, to take the victory that we had over our nafs. We defeated ourselves. And now we need to take this out to the world. If we do not do this, then Allah will replace us. And Allah told us in Surah Muhammad, وَإِن تَتَوَلَّوْا يَسْتَبْدِلْ قَوْمًا غَيْرَكُمْ ثُمَّ لَا يَكُونُوا أَمْثَالَكُمْ. And if you turn back, Allah will replace you with another people, and they will not be like you. So the destructions that we see, the climate change, the missiles, the solar eclipse, it is not the day of judgment. There are certain signs that need to be seen. Alamat as-sa'ah. There are small signs, alamat as-sughra, and there are major signs, alamat al-kubra. And we need to study these signs. We need to know where we are coming and where we are going. And we need to continue to pray relentlessly to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give victory to the believers throughout the world. We need to pray to Allah Azza wa Jal to have mercy upon the children of the Ummah of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. We need to pray relentlessly to protect the women, the dignity of the Ummah of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. We need to pray relentlessly to protect the men and give strength to the Ummah of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. We need to pray relentlessly to raise up leadership in the Muslim world to take us from darkness into light. We are in the midst of a purification. May Allah purify our hearts, purify our deeds. May Allah purify us and clean out the filth from the Muslim world and give us victory on the ground. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين من كل ذنب استغفروا إنه هو غفور رحيم. الحمد لله الواحد الأحد الفرد الصمد الذي لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. وأصلي وأسلم على سيد الأولين والآخرين نبينا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين وبعد. يا عباد الله اتقوا الله حيثما كنتم ويقول الحق سبحانه مخبرا وآمرا إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما اللهم صل وسلم على عبدك ورسولك محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين وارض الله عن الخلفاء الراشدين أبو بكر عمر عثمان وعلي وأنا برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. الحمد لله الذي هدانا لهذا وما كنا لنهتدي لولا أن هدانا الله. ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا وهب لنا من لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب. ربنا فاغفر لنا ذنوبنا وكفر عنا سيئاتنا وتوفنا مع الأبرار. اللهم أعز الإسلام والمسلمين اللهم أعز الإسلام والمسلمين اللهم أعز الإسلام والمسلمين وذل الشرك والمشركين ودمر أعداء الدين وانصر عبادك يا رب العالمين. اللهم عليك باليهود الصهاينة الغاصبين اللهم فرق جمعهم وشتت شملهم واجعل بأسهم بينهم يا ذا الجلال والإكرام. اللهم لا تدع لنا ذنبا إلا غفرته ولا هما إلا فرجته ولا دينا إلا قضيته ولا مريدا إلا شفيته ولا ميتا إلا رحمته ولا حاجة من حوائج الدنيا إلا قضيتها يا أرحم الراحمين. عباد الله يرحمكم الله إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون. قوموا إلى صلاتكم يرحمكم الله.
الله أكبر الله أكبر. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن محمد رسول الله. حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح. قد قامت الصلاة قد قامت الصلاة. الله أكبر الله أكبر. لا إله إلا الله.